Hi, this is Donald at Steam-Bright Supply, and today we're going to talk about the Gardner Denver 4LR blower. Now this is a positive displacement vacuum pump, and these can typically be turned at RPMs up to 3,600 RPM. So a lot of times you'll see them commonly turned with a small air-cooled slide-in kind of truck mount or whatnot at a 1-to-1 ratio. So whatever speed the engine's turning, this is also turning. This has got two lobes in it that spin around. Actually, the air comes in, I can hear it's coming in here, and the air actually goes around the perimeter and then out. So it goes out around the side this way and out the sides this way. Now this is commonly also referred to as a 47 XL blower. This 47 actually means that the gear, the fork, comes that it has two 4-inch gears. If you can kind of envision that in here, two gears in here. And the 7 refers to the size of the lobe. That means that from this point here to here, 7 inches. Has a 7-inch lobe. You'll actually see similar units in a 45, which means it has a 5-inch lobe instead of a 7. Now this one's going to move 560 cubic feet air per minute. They'll actually pull a full 15 inches of mercury. And typically most people will have a vacuum relief valve set on them at 14 inches of mercury. Now, one of the things that's unique about these is they can be spun in either direction, clockwise or counterclockwise. You can also have the shaft either on the other end. You'll see on this particular unit, the shaft is on the bottom. If I wanted to orientate the shaft to be on the top, I literally can just unbolt the feet that come with it in the box, bolt it on the other side, flip it over, and spin it whatever direction I want. The only thing that you need to keep in mind is it does include a vented cap. The vented cap up here on the top always has to be on the top. The other thing you'll notice is this particular unit comes with sight windows. Down here, that's a little piece of glass. This is your oil level. So right now the grease in here is actually only to this spot right here. When you go to change the oil, you're actually going to pull the plug out the bottom and then refill it from the top, but only till the oil reaches the window on the side. Now if I was going to orientate this, and you can actually, instead of having it up and down, if I want to do it horizontally, and I could have the shaft either on the left side or the right side, the same principle holds true. I'm actually going to reorientate my breather port to the top, and I'm going to put my glass window at the lower of the two sides. You see there's always a dual port, so this would actually get relocated here, but if you see here, there's another little cap here. I could put the sight window here if I wanted to. Same thing, I could put, if I was going to flip it around, I could do that here. So these are very universal. Now, these are also referred to as positive displacement vacuum pumps, which means that they gulp air all the time, no matter what. So it is important that you have some type of vacuum relief system. Either it can be a spring-loaded device on a waste tank, it can be a vacuum relief mechanism on the inside where it's on the way to the blower, but you have to have some kind of vacuum relief. It's not okay. One time I had a customer say, hey, I keep breaking belts, or I keep breaking my Lovejoy or whatever on the truck mount. And I started talking to him, and I found out that he didn't like the noise that it made having his wand laid in the air when he was between moving furniture, so he used to take the hose off and stick it into the sheetrock. That's not okay to do. You need to make sure that you're letting the unit breathe. And so these work completely different than a regular centrifugal electric vacuum motor. Typically on electric vacuum motors, the more you occlude them, they speed up faster and they use less electricity. That's not the case with a positive displacement. The more I load it, the more energy it takes to turn it. So when I start putting my wand on the carpet or I have my hand over the end of the hose, you actually are loading the blower. Now, on machines that are actually using this as a heat exchange system, as you load the blower, the air coming out of the blower can be up to 240 degrees Fahrenheit. This particular machine does not have a heat exchanger on it, but it's not uncommon from some truck mounts because they're trying to get energy from any level they can. they might have tubes of water running through their silencer system. On this particular unit, they've opted to design this with a reducer to go from 3-inch pipe to 2.5-inch pipe, so that they could use a 2.5-inch silencer. Now, on our website, you'll actually see that these silencers are posted on there, and I'll put the link on there for the video. If you have any additional questions, you can always call us back. We do keep these blowers in stock all the time. And one other thing I just want to tell you, when you're done using these, it's always important to make sure that there's actually 3 points of lubrication. One we've talked about in the back end. These ship, by the way, with no oil in them, so you do have to add them when you're getting ready to start them in service. The other is on the other side of it. There's some grease zerk points. So right here, there's a little grease fitting. There's one there, and there's actually another one on this blower up here on the top. So you have to use a regular grease gun that you would use like for the front end for a car, and you put synthetic grease in that. The other point is that typically on a truck mount waste tank, you're sucking up water and mud and whatnot. You might have moisture left in that tank, and that moisture can travel down this tube, and the clearance between the lobes where they gulp the air is very, very, very paper thin. So if you let a lot of rust develop on the inside because you're storing water inside your waste tank, that can actually cause that to lock up. So a lot of times you're going to see different manufacturers put some type of tubing or port or a ball valve or something here to allow you to spray a non-flammable oil. Some people use WD-40, which is flammable, but the factory recommends that you want to use a non-flammable oil. Now, on this particular model of truck mount up here on the front, they've actually added a little cap here so that you can actually just, when you get ready to turn the machine off, give it a few seconds of spray in there, and then you're going to turn the machine off with the oil parked in the lobes, and then you drain your waste tank to make sure you're not storing any water or moisture in the tank. If you're not going to use the machine for an extended period of time, it's even recommended to take the lid off your waste tank. So again, that moisture is not going to travel down the blower. So every day the waste tank is emptied and drained. Do not park the machine with water in the waste tank. And if you're going to go several days without using it, make sure you take the lid off the waste tank, and that'll help protect your blower. Anyway, thanks for watching.